Hello again, STRUCKTLF. January 2024 is almost here. A new year almost upon us, which means a lot of new releases will start flooding up the market. The thing is, January is normally a month where it's a little slow when it comes to big blockbuster games. But when it comes to not so well known games, there's a lot of stuff to look forward to. This video is dedicated to high profile games. But for me, high profile is not necessarily a term that describes AAA titles. So in this video, you would see 14 games, and out of those 14, a lot of those you would see are some, let's say, double A or maybe even single A games that I personally, for one reason or another, have decided to classify as high profile. Be it whether I believe the game would be very successful if given the right marketing, whether I believe the game is super interesting and deserves attention, or whether I believe the game is a blockbuster like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, or Tekken 8, or even the Quintfall, which it's been when it comes to talking about that, I'll explain why I consider it high profile. But Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, definitely a high profile game. So I hope you'll enjoy this list and like the 14 titles I've prepared, and maybe learn about some ones that you didn't know existed. Buckle up, struck up. Let's enjoy this video together and let's go. First game on the list is called Archaelund. Maybe I'm pronouncing it badly. Archaelund. But Archaelund, hopefully is the right pronunciation, releasing on the 8th of January 2024 as an early access title developed by 4Dimension Games. It will be releasing on Steam. As far as I know, there are no other stores planned for the release. This is from a studio that has developed a game before called Exiled Kingdoms. And if you've played Exiled Kingdoms on PC or mobile, well, yes, it's old schoolish 2D, but the new game they're making is in the same universe, but it's 3D. Turn-based tactical instead of action RPG, hack and slash. So definitely, they're trying to do something different. That in the same universe but completely different, and hopefully the game is successful. Hopefully it's engaging. Hopefully it's fun, and becomes something that people enjoy just as much as Exiled Kingdom. So yeah, 8th of January 2024. If you're waiting for an interesting new RPG, maybe this one would be something to catch your attention and hold it. Next game on the list is coming on the 18th of January 2024. By the way, this list is in chronological order of release date, but we're making a massive jump from 8th to 18th. New Psycho is the name of the game developed by Core Engage, published by Delic Entertainment. It's, as you're seeing, a city builder. But city builder with survival elements, it's 3D, it's got the typical building and strategy and colony sim elements of a city builder. It's got some post-apocalyptic sci-fi setting, real time, but with posing. You're building a new civilization out of the chaos of an apocalyptic solar flare as you grow your house from a lone shelter to an industrial metropolis. Take on the burden of preserving life itself and help your people realize their aim, a future beyond survival. Lead the world of New Cycle. Yes, the game looks fun, looks interesting, promising, to say the least. Hopefully, it's just as fun as it looks on the trailers. Needless to say, I'm seeing a lot of depth just based on the trailer. I'm seeing a lot of depth, reasonable amount of depth. Let's say that. So as long as the game is not overpriced and as long as they do some good marketing, I could see this becoming the next city builder people sink hundreds of hours into the core, the core city builder players out there. Next up is from Ubisoft Montpellier, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, or Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, depending on the pronunciation. Um, so Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is finally maybe a reboot of the classic, a game that I really used to enjoy. Not a fan of the Fortnite-ish art style they're going for, but I guess that's the time we live in. They everything tries to be edgy by going cartoony graphics and stuff. As long as the combat is fun, as long as the gameplay is enjoyable, I can see this becoming a hit. The boss fights and the combat look fun. The game is going for a more side scroller ish rather than third person camera. So not sure I am a fan of the side scroller stuff. If it was more old school Prince of Persia Darksider stuff, although very old school Prince of Persia was side scroller, so they're in a way going back to the very basic. But not sure it would be enjoyable, but it looks fun. It looks fun. I'm just not fan of side scroller platformers, and it seems like there's gonna be too much platformer for me to enjoy it. But that doesn't mean there aren't gonna be millions of people out there enjoying this, as long as they don't fuck it up with shitty microtransactions and stuff like that. And as long as it's not super overpriced, I can see it becoming a big hit, as a AAA game with the name Prince of Persia should be. Next up is an interesting title, The Cup, CUB. The Cup, from the creators of Golf Club Nostalgia and High Water, return to their whimsical neon lit apocalypse in a Jungle Book meets the Armageddon fusion. Parkour through the remains of humanity as a child being hunted. While catchy end of days tunes and curious survivor stories, blah blah blah, Steam is cutting off the text unfortunately. On the 19th of January 2024, you would be able to get this game, but there is currently a demo on Steam, and it will be a full release, so no early access shenanigans here and there. Developer is Demagogue Studio. Publishers of the game are Untold Tales and Gamer Sky Games. It looks like an interesting, very beautiful artistically, um, post-apocalyptic side-scrolling platformer. So if you're into that, and if you're digging the art style that you're seeing in the trailer footage, then add it to your wish list. Maybe play the demo and wait for the release in January. Hope you enjoy it then. The next game on the list is called Enshrouded, and it will be coming as an early access title. And as far as I know, it will be on Steam first, and later there will be Xbox access and PlayStation 5. But for now, Steam first, 24th of January 2024. Developed by Keen Games GmbH. And if you're wondering who are Keen Games are the people behind Portal Knights. So you are Flameborn, last ember of hope of a dying race. Awaken, survive the terror of a corrupting folk, and reclaim the lost beauty of your kingdom. Venture into a vast world. Vanquish punishing bosses, build grand halls, and forge your path in this co-op survival action RPG for up to 16 players. Um, Interesting what type of online it would be. It says co-op action survival, which leads me to believe it's going to be similar to V Rising. Um, it looks beautiful visually. The combat looks fun. Whether the itemization and depth would be good, whether it would be too grindy or not, remains to be seen. I like how you can break through certain structures, our Minecraft style, through the terrain, make your own tunnels and stuff. The game has a lot of potential, so as long as not too expensive, as long as it doesn't have any pay to win monetization and it's only selling cosmetics if it's selling anything other than the buy to play stuff. I don't think it has enough purchases because Steam doesn't say so, which is a good thing. But yeah, I think this game has massive potential to become a hit, and that's why I've put it as a high profile game, even though it's not that well known of a game. So 24th of January 2024, and Shrouded is awaiting for you to add it on your wish list and follow it. And hopefully it's not overpriced. Next on the list is Under Night in Bird 2 Cis Celeste. Yes, very fucking long title. The newest riveting installment in the epic Under Night in Birth saga rises from the abyss. Improved visuals and battle system witness the curtain fall on the tale of the Hollow Knight. Vie for supremacy through exhilarating combat and a deep, robust battle system. Those of you who don't know what this game is about, it's a 2D arcade fighter, our Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, and so on. That type of a game, but in the typical Arc System Works, which are the publishers and co-developer alongside French Bread style. Anime, good anime cutscenes, anime character design, nice, good skill animations, interesting characters, and a story to accompany the story mode, I guess, or whatever they're calling it. So yeah, there's different modes. There will be season pass, battle passes, whatever. There will be bonuses for pre purchase, and the price. The regular edition is 49.99 as a pre-order, so it's not triple A pricing; it's double A pricing. So maybe that would make some people prefer this game over Tekken 8, but they're still very, very different. So both games have many reasons to be purchased. Next up, we have something for those of you who love lawyer dramas. Ace Attorney, the Ace Attorney trilogy, Apollo Justice Ace Attorney trilogy, is coming as a package on Steam and multiple different platforms like Xbox XS1, PS5 for Switch. Developed and published by Capcom again on the 24th of January 2024. But there's a lot of games who, for whatever reason, left that date. So you're joining rookie attorney Paul Justice and his mentor, the legendary Phoenix Wright, in this collection of 3 games. This title features 16 episodes, including previously DLC-only episodes, and supports English, French, German, Japanese, Korean, and traditional and simplified Chinese. So yes, if you love pointing fingers at people with a massive bunch of confidence, this is your game. If you're a fan of the Ace Attorney series, if you love the anime art style that accompanies the game, and if you just love those lawyer games, that Ace Attorney series, you're definitely gonna wanna do this, especially if you don't already own the 3 games in that trilogy. So if you do, maybe you would wanna skip. It's up to you, but I think it's definitely worth the attention and worth keeping in mind. Next up is a game called Roots of Yggdrasil. Again, coming on the 24th of January 2024, developed by Mana Void Entertainment and published by Mana Void Entertainment and Indie Asylum. It will be an early access release, so expect missing or unfinished features and expect bugs and glitches. Build settlements, explore the 9 realms, collect artifacts, and upgrade your building deck to reach the top of Yggdrasil in this post Ragnarok roguelike city builder. Can you survive the end of the world? Is the question. So, if it looks like your kind of game, then definitely wishlist it, follow it, and hopefully it doesn't get overpriced. It looks promising. I like the roguelike city building elements of Against the Storm. So if this is anything like that, then it definitely has a lot of potential for massive replayability, just like Against the Storm does. Here comes another big potential blockbuster for the first month of 2024. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. Two larger-than-life heroes, Ichiban Kasuga and Kazuma Kiryu, are brought together by the hand of fate, or perhaps something more sinister. Live it up in Japan and explore all that Hawaii has to offer in an RPG adventure so big it spans the Pacific. Gotoku Studio is the developer as usual, and Sega are the publisher. So another like a dragon game, and this one, as you can see in the trailer, or at least in some of the trailers, we'll have lots of interesting, fun comedy moments, but also plenty of action. So, if you're fans of the series, it's a must-have. If you aren't, then maybe you should research to see if it might not be your kind of game. A little expensive, 69.99 for the base edition, AAA pricing for a AAA game. So keep that in mind. But it's definitely one of the top games in the month of January. Next up, we have an interesting, not so well known game. Maybe many of you might not have even heard of it, but I still decided to include it as a high profile game. Unforetold Witchstone will be coming as an early access release on the 25th of January 2024. Developed and published by Spearhead Games. It is an RPG sandbox with a deep reactive influence system that allows you to shape the fate of the world. The art style of the key art. The key art of the game really reminds me of Pathfinder Kingmaker, but the game is very, very different from Pathfinder Kingmaker. So keep that in mind. Yes, they're using the same visual shattering crystal um, on top of a face of a character. Um, but yeah, the game seems fun. Tabletop choices matter. RPG with interesting visuals and animations and graphics. So if you're looking for something new and something that is early access that you can support, maybe this is the game for you in January. One of the massive blockbusters in January, probably the biggest one, would be Tekken 8. This franchise needs no introduction. If you don't know what Tekken is, then maybe you just haven't been playing any fighting games. But if you do, there is a downloadable demo on Steam, and I'm assuming on other platforms as well. The game will be as usual on Xbox Access and PlayStation 5 as expected, as well as on Steam, as I said, as well as Humble Store, which gives you a Steam key too. Get ready for the next chapter in the legendary fighting game franchise. Tekken 8. I think it's pronounced Tekken. Tekken, but I'm just so used to pronouncing it Tekken, so I probably butchered the name there. But yeah, Bandai Namco Studios are the developer, and Bandai Namco Entertainment the publisher. And here the story would be revolving around Kazuya and Jin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, around Jin and Kazuya. So interesting plot line. Visually, the game is beautiful, taking advantage of Unreal Engine 5 and all the tech that comes with it. And if you've looked some of the fighting footage, you would see what I mean. Um, I think if I had a free key to play this game, I would probably play it, even though I don't like fighting games anymore. I probably would still enjoy it for a long time, and it's gonna be 69.99. So again, a little bit more expensive than the other fighting game in this list. So if someone is looking for some casual fun every now and then, or something to play with a sibling or a significant other one, or with any other family member, just to do some verses together, it's gonna be pretty fun to do Tekken 8. The Queenfall is a game I mentioned in the intro of this video. So why did I include this game as a high profile game? Well, at one point the game generated some buzz. There was some drama around the game, which I'm pretty sure is now resolved, and the game is finally launching after it was a long journey for the developers, and it's a beautiful looking game. I can tell you that. Embark on an adventure journey to explore the Queenfall universe. Be a part of unique battles and an immersive story with dozens of different professions in the depth of medieval times in an all new MMORPG experience. Releasing on the 30th of January 2024, developed and self published by Volrake Technology Incorporated. It is one of the most anticipated MMOs of the latest few years, for me at least. If you haven't heard of it, then you should have, and now you have. So watch some more trailers, more footage than the one I've included. Hopefully it doesn't get overpriced. Hopefully it doesn't become the next the day before. It looks like the developers have put much more work than what the day before was showing in trailers. And they've put a lot more testing than the day before. So I don't think this will be another disaster, but just be wary, just in case. But the Queenfall definitely worth checking out. Next up comes a game that looks very unique. And surprisingly enough, just today when I was researching some social media for the game, I found out that it's actually made from people from Bulgaria or from a person from Bulgaria. Big Whoop Studios is the developer, the publisher is Snapbreak. As a legendary thief, your next assignment lures you into a grand and lavish mansion. There you find a series of puzzle boxes designed for an unknown purpose. What should have been a quick in and out gradually turns into your own harrowing struggle for freedom and answers. The game is releasing supposedly sometime in January 2024, but uh, this could be just a placeholder date and it might change. So take it with the whole salt shaker of salt. But if you're interested in the game, download a free demo from Steam, check it out, and wishlist it and follow it if you like it. And even if it doesn't come in January, at least you can try the demo in January or even now at the end of December. It looks extremely fun. For those of you who want something more chill, where you're mostly going to be using the mouse and not using the keyboard much. Um, so I think the game definitely deserves a spot in this video, and not because it's made from a fellow Bulgarian, but just because it looks extremely unique compared to anything out there. In fact, I included it before I even knew a Bulgarian made it. I included it a few days ago when I decided which games to put in what lists. So boxes, lost fragments. Keep it on your radars. I know I will keep it on mine. And to top this list off, we have a game that I've been following for an extremely long time, probably more than a year, since it first got announced. How World is the name of the game. The release date on Steam says January 2024. Again, take this date with the whole salt shaker of salt. Developed and self-published by Pocket Pair, it will be a early access release. Fight, farm, build, and work alongside mysterious creatures called pals in this completely new multiplayer open world survival and crafting game. Yes, it's kind of like action RPG, third person action RPG, but you can capture creatures and those creatures can fight alongside you. So it's like Pokemon meets modern JRPG action RPGs. Let's not use the term JRPGs, but it's like Pokemon meets modern action RPGs that come from Japan, action RPGs. Looks cool, it looks fun, and it has a ton of potential.
To get notified when I upload more content like this one or other builds and guides for Wooter and not so Wooter games, you can subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to not miss out on notifications. As well as keep in mind there's something called memberships on YouTube, which lets you be a paying member for my channel to get access to perks such as emotes and badges made by me, as well as the option to get one-on-one tutoring for the very basics of Adobe Photoshop, Premiere and After Effects. And memberships can be cancelled at any time if you no longer want to be a member. Thanks for watching all the way until the end, STRUCKTLF. Keep it cool until next time and goodbye.